What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord Dr. Professor Dark Joker here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are traditional fans with opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. One Piece episode 1145. So in this one, Luffy, Dory, and Broggy they fight like the five elders. So they're mainly fighting Saturn and Porkery, and like basically like so the elders of course do whatever their abilities they have. They like regenerate, so they basically can't be killed. It's a little difficult for them to do that. So yeah, so there's a whole bit where Luffy like takes like this tree, carves it, and paints it into a bat to hit these like exploding bullets that he thinks is poison. Where back at Saturn, it blows up in his and Workery's faces, and so then you have like where like obviously the elders are trying to find Vegapunk's message, which hasn't necessarily started yet, but like of course it's about to start. And then basically you see Mars like fly around trying to like Mars find asks Lucci. So Zoro like in Jinbei, they basically Lucci's basically beaten. Like he can't fight really anymore. So Jinbei convinces Zoro to go with him towards the ship, and so Mars asks Lucci where Vega or York is at, and so Lucci tells him where she's imprisoned at, and Lucci asks Mars to spare um he asks Mars to spare like like basically his friend and like you know Kaku, like he tells him to spare Kaku, but Mars says you know insects may die when he's doing his thing, so he basically says he doesn't care. And so yeah, so we don't know what happened. So obviously Kaku's injured still, and so Mars finds York, asks her where the message is coming from. Basically, she doesn't know. And so yeah, basically you have Kizaru who's like depressed from having to shoot Vegapunk. He's refusing treatment. He says it's a wound, but you could tell how he's wearing it. It's a wound in his heart, not like a wound, like a physical wound. So yeah, I really like this episode. Like the whole baseball thing was so funny. How doing the whole like slapstick comedy bits, that crap was funny. Whereas like Luffy uses the fourth wall to put his eyes and Scar back in their places. It's so funny. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. One Piece 1161. So in this chapter, there's like complete chaos on God Valley. Like so, dragons trying to save like Shanks and Shamrock. He's attacked. He's like shot in the shoulder by Saint Maffey of House Satchels, who's one of the Holy Knights. So who finds I guess Garland's kid. So one Shanks falls on the ground, basically hits his head, and Maffey's able to find Shamrock. So I guess like he only Maffy she only knows about like like Shamrock, I guess. So she thinks that Dragon's trying to kidnap um Shamrock. And so like Whitebeard appears, cuts Maffy in half. Now Maffy's somehow still alive. Maybe it's a devil fruit power or something. Or something to do with her being a like a god knight, like she's like maybe a familiar of Emu. So you see like Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, Shiki, like they come across Garp. So Dragon sees Garp. He's basically hiding. So Garp, of course, is trying to find um Roger. And of course you have Rocks trying to find like Teach and Eris. And then you see like, basically the Navy wants to evacuate the Celestial Dragon. Just get him out of there. And Sommers, you know, and basically, so the God Knights are supposed to escort like Shaki out, I guess, back to where Celestial Dragons are at. So, yes, Shaki had beaten up some Marines, so Saint Somers gets in there. He gets annoyed by Shaki, I guess, her talking. So Shaki kicks Somers, like, and Somers gets pissed, and he decides he just wants to, like, since he knows Garland probably will win, and Shaki would end up with Garland. Somers comes to the conclusion that the right way for him to handle this is to just kill her, so no one can have her. And then since like you have all these pirates that are there to rescue her, they're there to rescue like Shaki. He's wondering how they'll all react. And you see something, so you see Roger fighting Whitebeard. So yeah, so it's freaking chaos out there. So when Somers like is about to kill Shaki, Rayleigh comes in and like basically attacks Somers, knocks him out, and basically saves Shaki. Like basically Shaki starts crying, cries onto Rayleigh's shoulder, and basically Rayleigh hugs her. And you have like Roger and Gabon being like, "Hey, can y'all just do this later?" And so I guess Roger's like, "Hey, we got Shaki. Let's get some treasure and get out." So I guess that's gonna lead to Shanks being inside a treasure chest and ending up on Roger's ship. So yeah, I really like this chapter. It was funny how they're all fighting over Shock. You see like Somers' dialogue while everyone's fighting over Shocky. Then Rayleigh comes in and just wrecks him. Like you see Dragon, obviously they're explaining how the two twins were separated, how Shanks and Shamrock. So Maffy got Shamrock, Dragon got Shanks, and so that's why Shanks, I guess, is. So my guess is what's gonna happen is Dragon's probably gonna try while on the run. He's gonna hide to protect Shanks. Probably gonna hide him in like a treasure chest to like keep him safe, so he's not, I guess, caught in the fire. And Roger's gonna, I guess, grab the treasure chest, thinking there's treasure in it, and not a kid. And that's gonna lead to, of course, Shanks being part of the pirate crew. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Like what they're saying up. Looking forward to the next one. The Elusive Samurai, chapter 220. So this chapter mainly shows like Tokiyuki fighting Takagi. Basically, Takagi's like basically because the power is just coming out of him. He's like really fast, so Tokiyuki can't fight him. He can't defeat him. He can't even flee from him. And the title's called the Elusive Samurai, like the title of the manga. And Tokiyuki can't even be elusive, so that's like a big problem for him. And you see like some of the other soldiers fighting Takaji's troops. So and you see um Un, Uno Yukiyashu, who like soldier of the Suicide sect, who fights alongside Tokyo. He asked to be to fight Takaji, but he's just quickly killed. Like it's quick. You see his guts are just spill out very quick from one slice. And yeah, dude, it basically just in in like the explicit it says, yeah, he died. And basically he said Uno says that he's blessed with a wife and children. So he defends domain his faith. He says in the afterlife he'll tell Myojin that Tokiyuki's grown. So Tokiyuki's pissed off, while Takaji's like amused at having, I guess, killed Uno, and I guess amused at pissing off Tokiyuki. So yeah, that's obviously gonna be a big thing in the next chapter. So yeah, I really like this one. Liked all the fighting, the combat between Tokiyuki and Takaji. I mean, it's brutal. But yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Kagurabachi Chapter 95. So in this one, Kaisen tries to say why he betrayed the Kaminami for the Hishaku. Basically, he wants to use the enchanted blade to, I guess, bring order to Japan, but Rokuhiro was concerned about the powers, so that's why, even though the Swordmaster had killed all his people who caused the malediction, so Rokuhiro, Rokuhiro was concerned about the powers of the enchanted blades corrupting the user and potentially causing another malediction. And so basically, so Kasen wants to kill the Swordmaster, but he's like he believes the world needs the enchanted blades, so he been secretly been playing to, I guess, have a plan, use the Hishaku to establish order using the enchanted blades. It's real I guess he had Rokuhiro killed, and he plans to kill all the other Kaminami and Sazanami. But then Azumi appears and knocks him out. So he enters a fight between, you know, he enters the fight that's going on between, like between Hokodo and Yura, and then yeah, he's about to get in and basically start wrecking some people. Looks like, so I'm interested in that. Yeah, see what's going on. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi Chapter 62. So in this one, Kiyoshi's group, they get some equipment, I guess, to like shield their presence and smell and Demon World. Then they go into like, I guess, this tunnel that has like a phone booth that acts as a portal to the Demon World. So they arrived in the Demon World, after saying bye to everyone. And so it's really basically the Demon World. It looks very similar to, I guess, the human world, but basically morals are in short supply in the demon realm. So like basically like the group sees like this kid being just beat up a lot by this demon. Like Chiro and then like freaking Kiyoshi like blocks an attack by by the adult demon on the kid, even though he was told part of the rules for there was don't draw attention to himself, don't get involved, don't like basically don't do anything to compromise the mission, in essence. Like, yeah, like there were rules they were supposed to follow of what to do, like, and don't leave anything behind because they don't want any evidence being around that humans were in the demon realm. And so, yeah, so then Kiyoshi just beats the guy up very easily. And so then at the end you see Shishido in chains, like I guess having beat up some other demons who tried to, I guess, kill him or something. So yeah, I was like setting up more like with him setting up his power level. So yeah, I really like this chapter, like how they're setting up the demon realm and all of like the you know basically this arc. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ichi the Witch, chapter 52. So in this one, Ichi's group gets on, the ship that the time magic is at, and so basically, I guess time freezes for them, like each of when they're like when they enter. So like their watches have different times based on when they, I guess, stepped on the ship. So they challenge the try to challenge the time magic, and basically the real name of it is the Chrono Weaver magic, and basically ships don't sailors don't sail near it. Like they have sea shanties saying not to go near it. So Rise the challenge is about they're about to challenge the time magic. This person in a knight outfit, like dressed up as a knight, arrives to like I guess swab the deck. They first discard things to magic, but then Ichi realizes it's actually a human in armor, and apparently it's a pregnant woman. And the lady asks for the witches to not acquire her husband. So it's real that she's married to the time magic and that she's pregnant with the time magic's child. So basically, the child is half human, half magic. And so I guess that's gonna be interesting how that is a thing. Like how you have a half human, half magic type being. See how that works. Like that's gonna be interesting to see what happens. So it could hint that maybe the time magic's going to be an ally, and that could be interesting. So you have a magic that joins the team, like an epic magic that witches failed to acquire. Have one that is an ally. That could be a big help against a world hater. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Odor the Flame, chapter 20. So in this one, Odor and Kutin, they're still fighting, Dodoa. And Dodoa, I guess he used Sorold's left arm, I guess, to enhance his own body. Very Yu Vong of him. And so Dodoa, unlike Sorold's, is willing to use the spirit's power to, I guess, make himself stronger. So yeah, so then so then basically, so Poutine then I guess is at the end, he's trying to fight. He's a Basically, there's this wind power that knocks away Dodoa, and so Kutin hears a voice, and basically it's the wind spirit, Skadi. Skadi, the dealer of wounds. Basically, it looks like she asks Kutin to pick up his bow, and I guess shoot an attack using her wind power. So Oder and Kutin do an attack, like combined attack, and they strike Dodoa. So it looks like basically this arc's ending pretty soon, and Dodo's probably gonna be beaten by the end of next arc. So yeah, I like this one. Like how, okay, I mean, I don't think anyone's surprised of Kutin getting the Wind Spirit. That's not really surprising. So it looks like he's gonna become a more of a major character, be I guess more of a regular, I guess, member of the crew possibly. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Harukaze Mound, chapter 15. So in this one, you see Nagaharu just strike out like batter after batter. Like he's basically handling like, and there's basically no scoring for either side going on. And basically, we're in like, the seventh inning, I believe. And then like, so Nagaharu's ready, like, basically he's locked in. He is striking them out hard. So yeah, and of course, we see some of all some stuff he said to Kingo about how he improves himself and how, like Kingo, he has to dig into, I guess, his inner darkness in order to improve himself. So they're setting up, I guess, Kingo to have like a big. Basically, it looks like they're setting up Kingo to have a really big hit to win the game. I mean, so they're setting up Kingo to have a big home run. Is what it looks like. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Like how they're showing Nagaharu's pitching, like how he like tries to improve himself, and how the other team just can't freaking do anything about it. Like, yeah, I like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ekiden Bros, chapter 13. So in this one, this chapter is focused on the segment of the race, between Matoi and Kinzaki. Basically, they went to the same high school, and so Kinzaki was like the best runner on their high school team. Matoi was the second best, and that's why he was made captain, because basically the coach wanted Kinzaki to be focused on running, not, leading the team. And Kinzaki was like so far ahead of everyone. He kind of like practiced by himself because no one could keep up with him. So Matoi had like, when he went to college, had like done so much, so like I guess like, basically how he trained, how he prioritized what races to do to prepare to go against Kinzaki again. And so he's able to catch up briefly, but then, Kinzaki starts pick up speed at the end to like keep going faster. So basically, and he's gradually getting ahead of Matoi, but I think Matoi's gonna basically pick up some more steam, I think, to set up, I guess, Matoi having some form of redemption for himself, and Kanzaki having someone who like can keep up with him, because it seems like he wants that. But yeah, I like this chapter. That was cool seeing Matoi's backstory. See somehow he approaches trying to go against Kanzaki, who's like the big name like track run, cross country runner. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Ping-Pong Peril, chapter 12. So in this one, you see Pyra's match against his coach, Perry Hibizuka. So yeah, so basically you see they're using like, of course, people's heads as the table, different those special rules how it works in that crosswalk. So, they're trying to move around people, and surprisingly, I'm surprised no one's trying to beat them up for it, basically hitting their head you know, with a ping pong ball. Like it was like, what the frick are you doing? Like I would be if it was me, I'd be like, hey, what the frick are you doing? Like you might not hit my head. Like I'm actually interested like in this, so it's revealed that, you know, what's revealed is that, basically Hebizuko is jealous of, so even though Tyra was never able to beat him, like he never was. Tyra always lost to Perry Hibizuka, but the reason Perry didn't like Tyra because he saw like the talent that Tyra had, and basically realized that Tyra would be able to go pro, become an Olympian, all that pretty easily, whereas he would struggle. He has struggled with that. So he basically, I guess, is betting all on this match. So yeah, you know, so yeah, basically they show some backs with their past matches, and then you see Tyra using, I guess, some people in the crowd to help him out. I guess get in the air to hit it, so it's like he's getting some people to help him out with the match. And I'm guessing that's not cheating, to my knowledge. So yeah, I like this chapter. Interesting. First, I mean, interesting seeing like a bunch of flashbacks going on there in the match. But yeah, I think in my opinion, I think with this kind of bet going on, they're probably ending this manga soon. That is my guess. Is why there's this big bet because it's like, yeah, you got promoted. We're gonna have this gigantic bet going on, and then we're gonna end the manga. I mean, I think that's what it is. I think that's what's going on. This is ending soon. A lot of times with Suisha, recent years, I guess, whenever it gets around 20 chapters, they end them. A lot of them. Like, basically, if it gets to like 30 something, 40 something, 50 something, even farther than that, it's doing really well. So, yeah, I like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Hot Gloves Braider Mynoghra, episode 13, and full series. So, in this one, the two twins confront the Demon Lord, and basically they're ready to just kill the Demon Lord with ease for killing Isla. But then Demon Lord's killed by some dude wearing a suit who basically is very strong. The twins are wanting to fight him for taking away the revenge, but Otto stops them, and basically twins they remember talking to Zorans, they remember how Isla treated them. Basically they regain their senses, stop secret because basically they believe that they want to live in a way that Isla would be proud of them for. So the guy leaves, and basically it's possible he's another reincarnated person because he was wearing a Japanese school uniform. And Otto explains that basically Isla cannot be brought back, and you know, I guess right now I guess Takuto believes there is a way, but I guess he has to figure it out. So Taco knows that I guess there's probably other reincarnated people in this world using mechanics of different types of games. So yeah. So basically, so the guy who had killed that demon lord comes across, I guess, his slave, like his slave girl, whatever. So I guess they leave, and so then you have Selena confronting Arikino, who then defeats Selena but learns about Mynoghra. So it's like Arikino's probably gonna, if we get another seasons, might involve Arikino confronting Mynoghra. So Takuto's a little pissed off, but he gets more confident when he learns he does have superhuman strength. So he's played real time strategy games, so obviously he didn't have to do much. But since he has powers, like supernatural powers, he can actually do something. So he decides to not punish the twins. He blames himself for what happened, for not being able to, I guess, predict what caused Isla's death. And so he vows to find a way to bring back Isla. Otto's worried. Takuto says is to get this like achieve some like victory ascension or whatever, in order to basically it's like he's taking over the world. What it is like is if you take over the world, you can remake the world. And so Takuto says, hey, if we since other people try other nations like, hey, we'll just kill anyone who gets in our way. He creates guns to do it. Like he just magically creates guns for so that they can create like basically take over the world if needed. Now, basically, he kind of worried away because he was frustrated with Isla's death. So a lot of the dark elves are afraid, but he finds a way to word it in a better way. So dark elves are willing to help, and he still wants to basically get the victory, but I guess he doesn't want to be completely evil or whatever about it. So but he still wants to basically continue with his plans. See, I like this episode. Good way to end the season. Hopefully we get season two to see more of this world, more of all these other reincarnated people. See what other types of game mechanics exist with different characters. So yeah, and I like this season. It's a good way to introduce like Mynoghra, the different characters within that kingdom, then a few of the other people outside of Mynoghra. So yeah, I really like this series. Hopefully we get a season two. Gachiakuta episode 12. So in this one, um, Tamsi and Zanka, they basically they're able to like free everyone from Amo's control and then defeat Amo. And so basically like so they're able to everyone gets their mask back on. They're able to like be free of Amo's control. Now Rudo is pissed off over what? So what has you have Corvus talking to you know Simi over what Simi saw with Simi first encountered Rudo. Basically, Simi sensed the inner anger that could lead to some very dark stuff. And so, while this dialogue's being said, you see Rudo walking towards Amo, and then start brutally beating the crap out of her. Like he's like repeatedly is like punching her in the face, like she's bleeding. Like it's pretty brutal. And basically, Engine's like, "What, dude?" He like, dude, stop, do not do that. Dude, that's enough. They're like, that's enough. Yeah, and Engine's like, dude, that's a freaking girl. Don't hit a girl like that. Rito's like, I don't care. She deserves to get beat up. She deserves to get basically Rito's like she deserves he's like, I don't care if she's male or female. She deserves a bloody beating for what happened, for what she did. Engine's like, how are we gonna get the information about the sphere? Rito's like, oh. So Engine takes Ryo outside to talk. Basically, Ryo says that when he was on the sphere, he had to like contain his anger, and so I guess a lot of anger built up. Basically, it just started letting out when he was like punching the Amo, and then some the other cleaners there and there, they're trying to cheer up Amo. Amo mentions she met basically she met something about her mother. That's how she met quote her first love, and she met the angel that travel between the sphere and the ground. And then Clear's like, wait, Angel? Wait. Oh, yeah, Angel. Wait. Sphere. Wait. What? So that's saying the next episode, which I've read the manga. It is dark. The next episode is going to be very dark with what happens. Like, it is not. It is not going to be a pretty sight. What happened? Like, Rudo beating up Amo is pretty brutal. But the actual story of the next episode, it's oof, oof. It, it's uh it's not gonna be pretty. Like it's not going to be pretty. Like it is pretty dark what happens to Amo. Like there is a reason. There's honestly, what she did was wrong. There is no excuses for that. This manga does not manga and anime do not. do not make excuses for Alma's actions. But there's a lot of bad stuff that happened to her that did turn her insane. While Alma is responsible for her decisions. Like that's not a question. Alma's responsible for her crimes. But yeah, I mean, but this is next episode's gonna be it's gonna be pretty dark. And yeah, I was wondering how they're gonna adapt the Bruto beat. Like when I first read the manga, when I first read that chapter and saw Bruto beat up Amo, I was like, wait, what's he doing? Oh, frick! I expect to be this brutal. At least not the main protagonist, maybe some other people. I mean, it's dark fantasy. I mean, this is a dark fantasy series. So brutality is kind of expected. Like it is, like you can see a lot of blood and and think like basically like, not I'm not gonna give too many spoilers, but basically, Rudo is able to move on pretty well from this. So is Amo, for the most part, like basically like things do calm down for like between them. So yeah, I really like this episode. Really looking forward to the next one. Hotel Inhumans season 1 episode 13 and full season. So yeah, they announced that, Hotel Inhumans is getting a season 2. I'm excited for that because anyway, so in the aftermath of, the events in, with Sihashi being defeated, you know, basically like, yeah, so the slave boy that, Danica Chitana saved basically said to live in an orphanage. I guess Ikuro is from knows the people, knows at least one of the nuns who runs the orphanage. And so the kid befriends this younger boy and introduces him as Balan. So Danica and Chitana are publicly revealed as the shooters of Aslan. So Ikuro had to eliminate evidence of his and Sarah's involvement in Aslan's death. And so Danica and Chitana are now being hunted by the authorities and other assassins. So yeah, so there's a meteor shower approaching. So Sarah, I guess, is trying to. So she goes to a tailor shop run by Izumiko to get some clothes. Ikuro just stands on the rain, join it, and I guess when Sarah closes her umbrella, she gets a cold doing that. Then we see Danka and Chitana, I guess, in the forest on the run, and like I guess they probably don't have long to live, so they're just fine to just enjoy the meteor shower. And I guess the bullet hole in like Danica's shoulder, I guess, completes the tattoo that was being drawn back. So I guess she was they were in the process of it. And so Danica and Chitana, they expressed their feelings for each other, and that's it. So we don't, and that's it. So I don't know if they appear. I haven't read the source material, so I can't say whether or not Danica and Chitana appear later in it, or if it's implied they're just happy and they're gonna get killed pretty soon. Yeah. And so Ikuro and Sarah, next day, they're just continuing their jobs as concierges. Then you see some guy in a wheelchair who's dripping blood, like through the wheelchair, where approaching, I guess, their reception desk. So yeah, I like this episode. You know, good way. I mean, good way, I guess, to end this arc, in like this season. Like, hey, yeah, let's wipe. Basically, the hotel's wiping its hands of any involvement in the assassination of that minister, of that basically of that like slaver. Now, I was surprised that Danica Chitana being publicly revealed as the assassins. I guess Shihashi, since he was alive, he released that information to someone who made it public. Probably basically out of spite, out of vengeance. So, and it's also probably bad for business when assassins are publicly known for anyone that Danica Chitana worked for. See, I like this episode, and I like this whole season. Like the assassins of the week were interesting. Of course, you had some multi-episode assassins. But overall, I like this season. Looking forward to season 2. Spy Family, chapter 123.2. So in this one, Anya, the group that's with her, they're like still going inside, that little dark, like, I guess abandoned building to like search for ghosts. Anya thinks she caught a ghost shoe, and then like Anya hears a voice saying, "Go away, don't come closer." She hears a voice. She's wondering if she's hearing the voice of a ghost. And like basically, the group comes across dissection lab, and one of the students says that basically there were rumors of Eden. Basically, students that got poor grades were used as human test subjects during the war, and a lot of discussion of it was forbidden, and so Devil Ritual might be a code phrase allude to it. Honestly, given some of the stuff with Astania, that wouldn't be the most surprising thing ever. I mean, that would not be the most surprising thing. And so there's one bit where everyone except Anya is scared. Anya's like excited to like catch ghosts, and you see something go across like the window. We don't know what it is. And then yeah, like maybe a scholar's cape. Then we hear a voice. So basically, then there's like another group, I guess, that was playing the same thing to see if they call the ghost. Maybe that means they could get a Stella. Anya like passes out, like I guess from like fear or whatever. And then like so Damien like carries her on his back outside building. Yeah. And once they get outside, he like basically just drops her. He's like, okay, get home. He's like, and it's funny how like then all of them were too afraid to go to a bath, go to take a bath or go to the bathroom alone, with the exception of Anya. And so everyone who was doing it, they all catch a cold or they all start sneezing. So they're all sick. Yeah. So and then like then basically Connie arrives saying that possibly there's probably I guess that Henderson could get fired from the school. So that's the next chapter. So yeah. Obviously like Henderson has had his dealings with the school. Obviously I think he got demoted or whatever because like he basically punched a very high ranking person associated with school. So yeah, I like this chapter. I thought it was very funny how it was like this ghost sound here was just another group trying to do the same thing. So everyone thought they saw a ghost, but it was just the other group. I liked it. I thought it was funny. Anya, funny. She was like, "I caught a ghost shoe, yay!" I'm like, I'm like, dang it, Anya. Now I don't know whose cape that thing going across the window was, or if it even was cape. Who knows? Maybe it was a ghost. But yeah, I really like this chapter. Looking forward to the next one. Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo Chapter 4. So in this one, um, Yuka and Tsurugi's like superior officially tells them that Maru's an alien. Then they say they already know. So Yeah. So then, like, basically, so Sarugi's told that, like, basically to figure out what he knows about Maru, everything he knows about, figure out everything he can about Maru, and yeah, and then keep investigating, and then in some Jujutsu, you know, obviously sorcerer mystery. So then what happens is the group basically then the trio's assigned with investigating potential sorcery issues. So at Shui Elementary, there's a student who allegedly is repeating the first grade multiple times. So, but it's like there's a kid that looks. So you have kids that look the same, but there you have Masayoshi, Masaki, and Masaki. So this is the third year it's happened. So like basically they're asked to investigate whether there's some sorcery thing going on. And basically the heights and voices are all the same, the builds are the same. So yeah. And then basically the teacher, I guess, of the kid tried to contact the parents, but you know, basically, so the Takeda family, but the way the dialogue was worded, like it wasn't right. Basically something didn't seem right. So yeah, so basically, and basically, so the address of the family is always the same for each kid. So they're wondering there's something going on. So they're wondering like, is there a curse user replace some kid, maybe the family's dead or something. They don't know. So they're trying to figure out. So they come across the kid and ask him what's going on. So there is some sorcerer thing going on. A Shikigami spirit, which Maru calls a Kallion. Yeah, so Tsurugi then defeats the Shikigami. They talk to the kid. And so the kid, so then Yuka goes to, this house while Tsurugi and Maru and Masayoshi go to another house. So basically, they're each investigating. So yeah, so you see a corpse. So the house that Tsurugi and Maru go to, there's like a corpse there, but a skeleton. So Masayoshi says he buried his mother, basically, I guess as best as he could. I mean, he was a little kid, and so Maru tries to cheer him up, saying, "Hey, there's he can't go. He doesn't have a home either, but he tries to like fill the hole in his heart by becoming someone's neighbor, basically be their friend. And he has to be like, Masayoshi's friend. Then Yuka calls Tsurugi asking where he's at. And Tsurugi says he's at Masaki's house. Then Yuka says she's at. Basically, they're at different houses. And so basically, the house Yuka's at, there are 5 dead bodies in the yard. And basically, Yuka tells Tsurugi to take Masaki into custody immediately. So Maru has been tossed out, knocked out, and you see Masaki like I guess start transforming, and so it looks like yeah he's evil. So it looks like he's some curse user or curse spear or something. So it looks like there's some fight between Tsurugi and Masaki. So yeah, I really like this chapter. Interesting what the deal with Masaki is. Looking forward to the next chapter. Tulsa King, Season 3, Episode 2. So in this one, Dwight and Margaret come across the Dunmeyers at the funeral for Theodore. Ozzy was killed in that fire. So Jeremiah Dunmeyer offers to pay Dwight 3 times what Dwight paid Montauk. And Dwight refuses because he believes that if Jeremiah's willing to play that much, that means that that the distillery's worth a lot more. And Cleo confirms that basically because there is a secret stash of 50-old bourbon that's worth $150 million. So Tyson asks his father Mark to help with restoring the distillery system, the bottom system. Now Mark refuses, but Tyson's wife persuades Mark to help. The reason Mark disagreed, didn't want to help, is because he didn't want to cross the Dunmires. So then Dwight, Bigfoot, and Mitch, they meet Walden Eustace. Basically who was a distributor who previously had distributed Montauk's beer, but they're able to convince him to re go back to distributing Montauk, beer. So, and I guess Cole Dunmeyer, who knew Cleo, tries to, I guess, reconcile with her, and then she rejects him, and basically Cold incites threaten her. So then, you know, Bevilacqua meets with Dwight at the distillery, and he demands a share of the business. Yeah, and yeah. So, then Bodhi talks with Grace about a plan he has to basically use technology to spy on Jimmy's killer. I guess maybe, I don't know, torment the guy or something. And so, yeah, so Jeremiah, once the Dummeyers learn about Eustace meeting with Dwight, basically Jeremiah has his thugs beat up Eustace, and Mark gets the bottling operation going. And so, the crew make the Dwight's group makes a toast of, the Montauk 50 being released. And yeah, so Dwight meets with a guy named Thresher who's running for governor and tells him that Thresher owes him a favor. So so then Mitch is attacked by Cole, but he beats up Cole and his goons with help from Cleo. Then Dwight and Jeremiah, they basically both threaten to each other to basically destroy the other. So that's gonna be interesting. So like Thresher, of course, was like the main, I guess, antagonist in season 2. Now I guess he's coming back in as potential reluctant ally. So that should be interesting because Neil McDonough is a very good actor, like very good actor. So him and Stallone working together, that's gonna be cool to see if they're allies. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.